Now, as we've been saying, grateful people, those that forgive, are kinder. Uh, Grateful people end up being very kind people. They're kind. Why? Because they feel better. They feel more free. That freedom becomes self-evident in the way that they treat other people. It's noticeable by anybody else who is going to be watching. They're just kinder. Now, surely the opposite is also true. It shouldn't take us too long to recognize that the angry and the vindictive or condescending people probably remain angry at something or things that have happened in their life. It eats at them. It robs them of the happiness of today. And that inside misery spills over into their actions with other people. I'm miserable, and you should be also. Now, in contrast, though, kindness shared is kindness multiplied. What I mean by that is our human spirit thrives on the mercy and kindnesses that have been extended to us. Getting more than what we bargained for is always a pleasant surprise. It's a bonus over and above what we expected to get. We're pleased to receive the additional thing we didn't think that we would get. That's an abundance that we hadn't planned on. So, when we're kind, we extend the additional something to those around us. We're giving them more humanness, more humanity in a world that's often so short of such things. In short, most people around us are themselves wounded by their own particular resume of unkindnesses. Our kindness can provide a healing salve to their scars. Now, in return, their gratitude coming back is a cooling breeze to our own souls. Their reaction to us and to our acts is a reminder that we've chosen a healthier path. Now, in the process of that, though, let's talk about what kindness in the context of healing and forgiving it is not. What kindness is not is allowing people to consistently be unkind to us. For instance, I believe that when we stand and allow someone to yell at us and to be angry, they can be angry at us, but when that comes into loud yelling at us, I've always believed that anger is soul tearing. It has an effect on a spirit that is used to being whispered to and responds to whispering, responds to kindness. Yelling and abusive anger is not kind. And at the end of the day, we're not doing anybody any favors by staying in conversations where we're being yelled at. Those are those ones that we need to simply walk away from. I mean, in a larger context, what kindness is not is allowing others to be unkind to us in a way that is damaging to us. And that may mean that the kindest thing that we can do is to distance ourselves from very toxic, destructive relationships. Well, that's a hard thing to balance, how we do that. But I think we owe it to our own healing, and we owe it to the peace inside of us to not spend too much time in angry situations. Now, it may very well be true that part of our serving and reaching out to others is that we're going to be dealing with unhappy people and potentially destructive people. How much of that we absorb, how much of that we put on the pink bubble where it just flows right by us and we don't absorb it, we don't breathe in, that we're in the process of serving them and we recognize the source. But we may have to limit somewhat how much time we spend in those situations, because allowing them to be destructive and abusive to us is not kind to them. It puts them in a place that they're being less than humane and less than kind, and that has a soul-tearing effect on themselves as well as us. So that also means that part of kindness then is being able to maintain proper boundaries and limits, what we will allow and what we will not. And when we are running into those things that are painful and destructive to us, how we draw a thoughtful, caring, kind boundary and line and limit is not an easy thing, and yet it's a very necessary thing to be able to draw those limits and allow those destructive behaviors to us to not continue, and to be able to step away from it, sometimes temporary, sometimes permanently.